My name's Elysia English and welcome to episode 4 of my tiny home studio build. I'm standing on the interior and I'm super excited and honored to be teaming up with my favorite home hardware. We are doing an all-woman build and this is going to be an epic bunkie which I'm going to turn into a studio. If you're just tuning in, you can catch episodes 1 through 3 on my playlist. You don't want to miss, I'm building this myself from the ground up. Home Hardware has backyard packages available right on their website, homehardware.ca. You can purchase your own dream backyard packages. They have packages available from garages and sheds to decks and fences and even bunkies like this one. I'm super excited. Today we are going to climb ladders. I'm a little nervous on heights, but I can do it. I'm going to climb the ladders. We're going to get the roof trusses. We're going to get our plywood on the roof. We're finishing the exterior and then we're going to start working on the steps to this gorgeous deck that I have on the front of my studio. We also had the arrival today of our doors and windows, which means we are getting ready to do all the final steps on this build. Join me on my journey. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow along watching this all-woman build. Thanks to Home Hardware. Let's get building. Here's how. Going to be building some common rafters for the shed portion of the roof. And so since I need to make quite a few of them because that interior space is 12 by 12, I made myself a tracer. And so this common rafter is built, I have a 612 pitch on my roof and I've got my 612 angles on the ends and then I've cut out my bird's mouth spot. That way this will actually lean on the side of the 2x4s there and also have the extension for the little bit of plywood that's actually surfacing the outside of the exterior. So this is going to be my very first rafter, and since I want to make quite a few of these, I'm going to use this as a tracer. So I've just written tracer on it and now I can use this as a template and I don't have to remeasure a whole bunch of these since this is quite a process to get this first one perfect. I want to show you a really quick, easy tip to help you be able to get the pitch that you need. I'm working with a 612 pitch, and so what I've done is I've used my square here and a straight board, and I have clamped on this side of my square at 6 inches and this one at 12 inches, and that way when I run it along and I want to get my angle that I need to cut, I can actually just run it along. So I've already started with my first cut here knowing that that is my 612 pitch angle, and then if I need to make another line down here on my length, I can just line this down and say I needed a cut here, I can make my mark and then cut my line. So I use this same technique to help me to get my bird's mouth and the end of my board following the blueprints that it gave me for my actual shed build, which is pretty awesome just to be able to follow it. It gave you all of the information that you needed. To be able to get these backyard packages, all of the information you need comes free with your purchase of materials. So you don't have to do the guesswork yourself. It gave me all the numbers that I needed. Just found a few easy tips online to help me to make this a little simpler. So now I'm going to make several more of these and I'm going to trace this one that I made because I need a whole bunch that are exactly the same. So I did the work once and then I get to repeat it several times just by tracing. part of the project where I need to get the roof sheets up. They are 4x8 sheets and I need to get 12 of them up onto the roof. So this is a little bit challenging when I'm not the best on ladders, and you know I'm kind of facing my fears on the ladder, especially carrying such heavy boards, but I can do it. I'm getting them up there. I have 3 of them on right now, and what I did before I actually started getting the sheets up there was to put on a fascia around the perimeter upper part of this studio build. That way I'll be able to know exactly where my sheathing needs to line up to make sure the roof is totally all squared up. So what I'm doing is I'm climbing the ladder, I'm lifting my sheets to lean on the building, and then climbing my ladder and pushing up from the far end as hard as I possibly can, kind of getting it into place a little bit, putting in one temporary screw, climbing up, and then being able to kind of shuffle it a little bit. Once I get that one up there, I know it's not going to slide back down. So it's a bit of a challenge, but I really kind of was worried if I could do it or not, and I've been able to. So I'm super excited to show you that I can do that myself. So this all-woman build is really panning out for me, even with the tough jobs. So what I want to do now is get the rest of those up. I'm working on the rest of the fascias so we can have this roof totally ready. I'm so excited because today we actually had doors and windows arrive. And so I'm excited to show you what the door for the studio is going to look like. It's the door of my dreams. And then to have some great big windows in this space as well. Face and fears. 4, 6. Where you want to go? There's so much more to doing a build like this than just actually accomplishing the tasks of doing the build. For me, it was facing my fears of doing a few things I'd never done before, and also the fears of being on a ladder and getting up high. So I was determined to be able to do this myself and be able to reach new heights literally during this build. So I'm super excited. I can get up on the roof, I can hoist things up there and do the sheathing, and I'm really tackling a lot of things that are really empowering for me doing this build. I really want to thank everyone for all the support and all of the words of cheering me on as I'm doing this all-woman build. It's really amazing to know that you guys are cheering me on the other end, and it keeps me super motivated to get this job task done. Thank you also to Home Hardware for always having the support behind me to live my dreams and be able to work on projects like this. I'm standing on the interior, and I actually had to shut a door to come in here, which is super exciting because we just installed the door. I was itching to see what it was going to look like on this build. So do you want to see my door? Let's do it. How amazing is this door? It's so amazing. I'm just loving it. Ready? Awesome. It's going to be so great to have all this natural light coming through the door and then have a great big window on the front of the studio space. How welcoming is this doorway? I'm loving it. I can come in and out. I have a roof, exterior walls, we have the deck built. This is really moving along. Stay tuned for our next episode where you see me getting on the rest of this build. Windows, we need to get the steps on the deck here, get the interior done, and actually get all the siding on the outside. I'm excited to show you guys what I'm gonna be doing to finish up this build. I wanted to take a second to answer a bunch of questions that you guys have been asking on our first couple of episodes. The first thing I wanna address is the fact that we had to have a permit to be able to build something of this capacity. And so you wanna check your local bylaws and the laws in your area to make sure that you're following all the parameters that you need to have in order to do a build like this. Second question I keep getting is, how big is this build? This is a huge build for me to do as an undertaking, and I'm really excited because the interior space of this studio is a 12 by 12. I also have the addition of an overhang of 4 feet on a deck that I'll be able to enjoy having my morning tea in the front of my studio. It's pretty awesome. So the full size of this is actually 16 by 12, and I think that my cathedral ceiling is about 10 feet tall. I'd have to double check the measurements, but I have an epic view on the ceiling and pretty much everywhere everywhere I look in the yard. And the third question that I keep getting is, what color is this studio build going to be? So I want you to leave down below in the comment section what color you think this studio build is going to be. If you're considering working on your own backyard dream projects, head to homehardware.ca. They have amazing backyard packages you can choose from garages and sheds to decks and fences, and even bunkie builds like this one. Thank you so much to Home Hardware for sponsoring this project. I couldn't do it without you. I love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next video.